The Legends Festival 2025 Part 2 has begun. The two releases, Legends Limited Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and Legends Limited Super Saiyan God Goku and Hit. You want to know whether you should summon or skip both of them, and I'll give you all the advice you need in this video. So subscribe if you haven't, like the video, and for your own benefit, the video is timestamped so it's easy to navigate. Let's get into this. So we've got some pre-information before you do anything regarding summoning. Consider the amount of chrono crystals you've got. It might not be worth it to just get one copy of this unit, but I will say these units do look insane. I'll say that before we even get into their kits, but the point being, you just might not be satisfied with one copy of the unit. But if you want the unit to be good in PvP, you should heed what I'm saying here and maybe take your time when it comes to summoning, or not summon at all, at least for the time being. With that being said, my next piece of advice is not to summon straight away. The banner release date is on the 10th of December and the banner will be here until the 21st of January. Though prior to that it will lose its 2x Z power, you will still be able to access the characters. So bear that in mind when going into summon, as there might be something else that could be more worth it for you. With this being said, before you make your decision, I advise watching showcases, as there's content creators that will always take the fall for you. If the unit is trash, which is very unlikely in this case, you will be able to see that firsthand, but I'll also advise that you watch a numerous amount of showcases, a lot of variety, different content creators, not just the usual you would, because every account has different teams, different setups, different equipments, different star levels, and that will make the showcase unit vary regarding your perception. So to get a concrete feeling of what the unit can do, watch multiple different content creators. But at the end of the day, please note, the meta is what dictates if the unit is good or not. So if a unit looks good in the showcase, it could be 2 to 3 days where they're not being used anyways. Even though that's unlikely, you should heed that. Going in further with not summoning straight away, consider the near future. So in this case, we should be getting the part 3 of the Legends Festival 2025, where we'll be getting an ultra rarity character. I already mentioned how long this ban is going to last for, but in 2 weeks, if we get an ultra and it's better than what we got right here, or it looks better, or it appeals to you more, you don't want to feel regret. So that's another reason not to summon straight away. And finally, I want to make it very clear that my judgment isn't final. I don't have the in-game stats, as I'm recording this prior to the units coming out, so I could say something in this video and then when the unit releases, it's the complete opposite based on their stats. So please bear in mind that I'm making this video based on their kits and giving you an informed opinion, as I've been playing Legends since its initial release. Hopefully that's all helpful. Let's get into their kits now. Right, so we're gonna start with the order they were revealed in. So Legends Limited Super Saiyan God Goku and Hit's abilities. Should be noted that God Goku is red, but I'll tell you in advance that Hit is purple, so they'll be switching between red and purple, and this is actually very good because red protects purples from the yellows, but purple's also good against green, red is also good against yellow. Just keep that in mind. Tags here for Goku, so Goku's kit first. Son Family, Saiyan, God Key, Super Saiyan God, Universe Rep, Universe 6, Rival Universe. Holding the tags of Hit as well on Goku, which is what tag units do, which is very nice. Going into the Z ability here, base strike attack 22%, base strike defense 22%, it goes up to 26, then 30%, and if Universe Rep in addition, you get 15% to base blast attack. If Universe Rep here, this is the Z4, so at 14 stars, and then it's at 38%, and then if Universe Rep in addition here, you get base blast attack, but now it's 18%, and you also get an additional damage guard, which is nice. On the strike arts, you've got blast armor, but for every time you press, you will get damage 20%, which is nice. The blast arts, nothing really special, but you do actually hit the enemy with damage received 10%, which is nice. Then the special move, it has this thing called an enhancement, which I'll get into for the blue card and the green card. Gohan has it too, which I'll get into later, but basically massive damage impact. On activation, special move damage 30%, nullify endurance, which is really good as well, but obviously it's because it's their LF, but this is cancelable, just bear that in mind. Also, when special move arts is enhanced, switch gauge plus 100%, damage guard penetration plus 100%. Now the enhancement is going to be based around their gauge, which I'll get into later, but just bear that in mind that their gauge will help their blue card and their green card become more powerful. So if we go into the green card now, you draw a special move from pressing it, which is the blue card, you get HP, key, during next combo receive damage guard plus 20%. This doesn't stack, but it is something that can apply to yourself. Ally sub count -2, and here, when special arts is enhanced, you actually heal your team 15%, which is very, very valuable. Now here is the main ability, but not really because it's a switch ability considering they're a tag unit. Tag switch to hit, switch to purple, draw up to 2 cards if hand has 3 or fewer, health plus 10%, key 40, damage 30%, which is uncancelable, which is one time, but it's uncancelable, is very good. Protect key as well, so you won't be able to lose your key from annoying enemies. Now the start ability is going to pair very well with that because you're going to see they have 300% damage, right? So you're already getting an extra 30%, which is uncancelable from doing one tag switch, which is very good. Damage guard 235%, which is nice. Key recovery 50%, draw speed, sub counts -2 on switch, so they can switch back in and out faster. Something to note, very valuable, Goku has endurance, only Goku. So if Goku gets rushed, he will be able to survive. We'll get into it later, but yes, they have buff cancellation, which is very, very nice. But Hit doesn't have endurance, so if Hit gets taken out, Goku goes out as well, and you don't get to deal with the endurance layer that you're supposed to have. So that's kind of inconvenient for Hit, but again, I'll get into that later. The unique ability here, on battlefield entry, draw 1 card if hand has 3 or fewer. You get key on entry 2 and the switch gauge, considering you're going to be building that up. On strike and blast arts, use this is one time, but it will reset on switch or tag switch. You fill your gauge 20%, you nullify special cover changes for 5 timer counts. Also, when unique gauge is full, which is one time, activations reset on switch/tag switch. You get critical rate plus 40%, 15 counts non-stacking, and cancel attribute downgrades. When hit with enemy arts, so if the enemy hits you, activations reset on switch and tag switch. You get more damage guard, so 20%. This is uncancelable and it's for 15 timer counts. You reduce the enemy's key, so some disrupt, and at all enemy sub count +2, so they can't really switch out, which is inconvenient for them. If you get a vanish, you get 50 key, switch gauge goes up 60%, and enemy damage received plus 20%, which is going to help out your combo going forward. When on battlefield, an enemy activates special move, ultimate, awakened arts, or rising rush. Nullify damage received, element disadvantage, ally sub count -5, and here's the buff cancellation I mentioned. It happens 3 times and is shared between both Goku and Hit. Now on Goku's side, he has a strike cover change that can combo into a blue, and here comes the unique gauge. So it charges based on the tag switch, and it's consumed by 50% on enhanced special move and special arts use. So here's the benefits of it. When unique gauge becomes full, you're going to get a green card one time, activations reset on switch, and it's shared between Goku and Hit. Damage plus 40%, which is uncancelable, and that sticks with you for 10 timer counts. Dragon Balls +1 2 times, and then activations are shared between Goku and Hit, and enhance next special move / special arts. That's all for Goku's side of the Super Saiyan Gods and Hit tag unit. Let's get into Hit now. Now I'm not going to spend too much time on Hit because there's not much difference, but there is a few differences. So like I mentioned earlier, he is element purple. That's the main difference. The tags are going to be the same. The Z abilities all going to be the same. The strike arts is the same. The blast arts is the same. The blue card, it's the same. The green card, it's a bit different here. So it says lean more into offense than with Goku. Hit has increased damage, and when enhanced, lowers all enemies' health restoration. And that's what you see here, where before it wasn't that. If I scroll up to Goku's green card, you will see that it was actually heal the team. So it does like the inverse in a sense, but it's still very useful, and it will basically debuff the enemy, which will help you out. Cool. Go further into Hit's kit now. The switch ability, Hit's tag switch has the same features as Goku but swaps to red. That's the only difference because Goku's red and Hit's purple. Now with the unique ability here we're going into, when unique gauge is full, using a strike or blast arts will increase critical damage because Hit's kit is based on critical damage. They always do that for Hit. I don't really like that, but it exists. Plus it cancels enemy buff effects, which we've already seen. So there's not going to be much differences, but critical is now involved here. We've seen all the rest so for the most part it's the same. He also has a strike cover change, bear that in mind, it can combo into blue, and as a result the unique gauge will obviously also be the same. Those small differences are just to be of note though, because Hit and Goku, they're not exactly the same, and mostly you're going to rely offensively on Hit while defensively you'll rely on Goku. But that's everything for their kit. Let's go into Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and then I'll give you the should you summon, etc. So we've got Legends Limited Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Can't believe they made a remake of this for the festival part 2, but here we are. Let's go into his kit. So we've got here the element, he's blue, the tag Son family, Hybrid Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, and we've also got the Saga, Cell Saga. I want to let you guys know in advance, this is a revival unit, so he's got kind of 2 sides to him. The Z ability here, as Z1, strike attack 22% and base strike defense 22%. It goes up to 26, and you also get the Cell Saga and the Hybrid Saiyan Z3, goes up to 30%. If Son family, base blast defense 15% in addition, and then if you get to Z4, which is 14 stars, it goes to 38%. And then here, if you have Sun family, you get base blast defense, but if you're also hybrid Saiyan, you're going to get damage guard, actually adding the damage guard to the extra of the high stars, which is really useful, but not most people would see, you know. Anyways, the strike arts here, it's a damage stacking, so he snowballs a lot. If you can imagine a snowball rolling down a hill of snow, it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Every time he's pressing a strike art, he's going to get 20% damage inflicted for 10 timer counts, which is very useful for him. He has blast armor, and with the blast arts, it's the same thing, which is very useful. Now, something interesting about his blue card, considering he's a revival unit, he shouldn't have any massive effects on his blue card pre-transform, but Gohan does. He's the first unit to nullify endurance pre-transform, and that's crazy. It's not like he really transforms, but like he shouldn't be nullifying endurance before you get to the post revival, you know, but hey, that's what they gave him. And he also gets 50% special move damage, uncancelable. Now, before we even get further into his kit, now, you know what, just wait a second, because his kit is crazy. I'm gonna tell you off rip. But yeah, also when special move arts is enhanced, so similar to what we saw with Super Saiyan God Goku in Hit, it's referring to his unique gauge. It enhances the blue card and the green card. If his blue card is enhanced, once he presses it, he will get his vanishing gauge back 100%, nullify element disadvantages, and enemy key minus 100 2 times. It has blast armor on it, as you can see from here. If we go into the green card, draws a card, get HP, key, damage inflicted, nullify special cover changes on it, and then when it's enhanced, he will also draw a blue card. So it's meant to be like a green into blue combo, and you'll see that further down the line. Go into the main ability, we've got here destroys entire hands, and you're going to draw one of every single card. So a strike, a blast, green, and a blue, which can be very useful. For example, if you want to rise and rush and guarantee your odds of actually randomizing the pick, it'll turn into a 100% 25% chance 1 in 4, where usually sometimes you get hold, you know, you have all strikes. Key plus 70, damage plus 30% uncancelable, so it's an immediate strength increase, and remove all art seals. This could be very useful if you want to finish off the job and then somehow you get your arts card sealed. So let's say you have all blast, fusion 13 just comes out of nowhere, but now you can wreck him, which is very nice. Going into the star ability, damage 310%. Now this is what I wanted to talk about earlier, right? This guy can get up to 550% damage off just existing, and that's not including him pressing the strikes and the blast continuously to build up damage. It's just outrageous in numerous sectors of his kit, including his unique gauge, the allies he'll have on the team, and then just the factors you saw before. Nuts. But yeah, damage guard 230%, key recovery 70%, draw speed, revive, which I spoke about earlier, he comes back with 70% health, will be defeated if health reaches 0 due to enemy self-destruct. There's basically nobody that can do that, so yeah. Also, if at least one other ally battle member is Sun family or hybrid Saiyan, his damage 30% increase. So this already was like 310, now it's at 340%. Damage guard 315%, here it was 230, so we're at 245. And you guys can do the math, but I've already given you the total number because we counted it on stream. Going into the unique ability, on enemy character confrontation, he's gonna draw a card 3 or fewer. So that's also if like the enemy switches out, he'll be drawing cards in addition. He's gonna get health 5%, which is nasty work. Key 30, nullify damage received, element disadvantage, so the damage coming his way, he'll be type neutral to it, but not the damage he outputs. Enemy key minus 30, on strike / blast arts use 1 time. He's going to activation reset on switch, sorry. He's going to draw 1 card, nullify special cover changes, 5 timer counts, and all enemies health restoration minus 35. That's actually a bigger hindrance than you might think. On cover change, unique gauge goes up 30%, and he's going to destroy 2 of the enemy cards all the time. As long as they don't drop combo, you will destroy 2 of the enemy cards, which is nice. When enemy attack ends, all enemy arts cost plus 10. Good disrupt, because cards are going to be expensive. Prevent all enemy switching as well for 3 timer counts, which is going to be very inconvenient, and that happens every single time. Nuts. When on standby, an enemy activates special move / ultimate / awakened arts or rising rush, sub counts -5, but if he also has a hybrid Saiyan, there will be another finus -5, so it will be -10 in totality. He doesn't cancel buffs, unfortunately, but I think that would be overkill if he did. Cover change, he cover changes strikes. The unique gauge, it's an attack type, so when the unique gauge becomes full, he will draw a card, get key, and enhance the blue card and green card like I mentioned earlier. Also cancel attribute downgrade and abnormal conditions. While full, damage plus 15% 50%, so the increase in damage for no reason. Special move art cost minus 10% uncancelable, and with at least 1% when ally is hit by enemy arts, health plus 10%, damage guard plus 20% for 15 timer counts, and ally sub count minus 2, and it charges greatly with each strike and blast arts used, consumed entirely with at least 1% when ally is hit by an enemy art. Now that's the pre-revival. Let's get into the revival now. So we're here at the post-revival. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Youth, we got the element blue, the same thing pretty much all the way here. The Z ability is going to be the same, the strike arts is the same, we got the blast arts being the same. The blue card, not much different, but I'll go into it. You know, you got the special move, which is uncancelable, the nullify endurance, which is there, but you can reduce the enemy's ki up to 3 times now. So this bit here, slight difference, you know, which is nice. You should really know it, to be honest. And with this here, it doesn't have blast armor, it just goes through, I believe. So bear that in mind, because the symbol is different. When things have blast armor, it's just like this, you know, with the yellow. But with this, it's not blast armor. I think it's a long range, which is actually very, very interesting overall. But yeah, just bear that in mind. Going into the green card, it's an explosive type. You can chain everything, so strike, blast, blue, except the green, obviously. You get a card, HP, ki, damage, protect hand. Also, when special arts is enhanced, draw special move arts card next. So yeah, that you're going to draw a blue card. If the green card is enhanced, the enhancement still exists. The main ability, you're going to draw 1 card, then draw the special move arts next. So for the legendary finish, you're going to get ki 80, you're going to get damage on the next special move 100%. So he's basically guaranteed to take out whoever he's dealing with. Remove special move arts seals to make sure that it can go through. Also, if there is 2 defeated enemy battle members, damage guard penetration plus 8%, 10 timer counts, enemy vanish engage minus 100%, requirement 5 timer counts elapsed. Basically, you're going to be able to use it straight after reviving, which is crazy. This specifically is crazy when it already does all of this. Unique ability here we have on revival, unique gauge charge rate plus 25% uncancelable, allied damage 30% uncancelable, so he's also supporting his team. Allied sub count minus 10, force enemy switch, enemy Dragon Balls minus 1, seal all enemy main abilities, 1 enemy character confrontation, draw 1 card if he has 3 or fewer, HP, ki, nullify, damage received. So like the damage received, we saw this before, enemy ki. This part here, it's also going to be the same. We read this already. This part here, we've already read this already. This part, we've already read this already. And then the hybrid saying in addition, his cover change has now straight changed to a blast. It was a strike before, but now it's a blast. And the unique gauge is the same. And that's pretty much everything for Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, the blue unit that's probably going to take over the game. Let's get into whether you should summon or not. So regarding whether you should summon for Legends Limited Super Saiyan God Goku and Hit, in my personal opinion, I do think they're good, and I really do like that their elements counter the part 1 units Gogeta and Janemba, because they are red, which counters Janemba, and purple, which counters Gogeta. But I just think this is a unit that would fall off the map with due time. Their stats are very, very good, don't get it twisted. They are keeping up with the festival headliners, Gogeta and Janemba, but they are slightly worse than Gohan, just damage wise, and I would also argue potentially mechanic wise. It's not that the unit is bad by any means, but I really just consider your chrono crystals. So would I say they're more worth it to summon than anything else that's out right now? Not necessarily, but they are definitely a good unit, and if you want to run universe rep, you will get value out of them. In that case, I do suggest that you actually go ahead and summon for them. They will give you great results, and if you do like how they look as well, that's also another reason to summon. But I will just put out there, you should be very wary, because we are only 2 to 3 weeks, I believe it's 2 though, away from the part 3 Ultra, which would definitely change the course of Dragon Ball Legends. In most cases it does, not guaranteed. For example, last year we got Ultra Beast Gohan, and he was only on par with Ultra Majin Vegeta, who released about 2 months prior. So in this case, if the power creep continues the way it did from part 1 to part 2, there's a major jump. Part 3, if there's also a major jump, we should see that this unit will probably be on the weaker end, at least in my opinion. I can't say that for a fact, but I do think they will at least be better than the part 1 units, but that also depends on what the part 3 unit is. But yeah, if you run universe rep, for sure go for this unit, but otherwise I would really hold back, because the part 3 Ultra could change everything for you. Regarding a should you summon for the new Legends Limited Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I think this guy is mostly a must summon. This guy's damage is outrageous. Like I showed you the numbers, 550% with 100% to his blue card to basically guarantee you get taken out. He is outrageous, and that's not even accounting for the equipment and the buffs that he'll get from any supporting allies on his team. He is nuts. I think no matter what team you use, you should aim for this guy. However, the same way I spoke about Super Saiyan God Goku and Hit, you should be careful, because if in 2 weeks the Ultra releases and it power creeps the whole game, Gohan, even though he's looking absurd, the Part 3 Ultra might be even better, and I think that's unfathomable. So I suggest waiting, like the advice I gave earlier. Please take it in. But if anything, Gohan to me is a must summon without a doubt. Now you probably want to know what I'm going to be doing is ZAKASHI Summoning. Well, I will be summoning, but what am I summoning for? I'm summoning for Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I'm going to try get 1 copy of Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, maybe 2 actually. I'll see how my summons go because I only have 16,000. Will I go pay to win? I don't know yet. I'm hoping not to. I have Z missions and I have a bunch of Chrono Crystals. 16,000 is a bunch, but I'd like to have more. But I still also need to be ready for the Part 3 Ultra. But for the most part, I think as long as I get Gohan, I'll be fine. Even beyond the Part 3 Ultra, I think I will be fine. But we will have to see. I'm not too fussed about Super Saiyan God Goku and Hit, even though I actually prefer their animations. As a unit, I won't use them as much as if I had Gohan. So I'm hoping to get Gohan. If I don't get Gohan, my CC will be low and I won't have God Goku and Hit either. But yeah, that's my situation. I'm gonna try keep some Chrono Crystals, at least 5,000 for the Ultra in Part 3 as well. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of the video. I can only wish you guys luck summoning for this Part 2, because this Part 2 is unfortunately looking way better than Part 1, and that's a first. Like literally, this might be the best Part 2. No, it's not might. This is the best Part 2 we've ever had in Dragon Ball Legends history, and honestly, they've done a good job. So shout out to the developers. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is ZAKASHI, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.